Let's take a look and compare behaviorism with cognitive psychology. Let's first look at the attribute. How did we learn about behaviorism? We learned about behaviorism through the work different individuals did using animals as their primary source. And that is why you see the dog, the representative animal over there. How did we learn about cognitive psychology? Through the brain, and that's why you see the brain there. The brain is the key to cognitive psychology. We cannot learn cognition from animals because, very simply, they do not think. And cognition is thinking, so all cognitive activities have to be done and experimented on human beings. You cannot experiment cognition on animals. Behaviors then. In behaviorism, the behaviors are an end in themselves, the only observable truth. To understand that a behavior has been learned, the behavior has to be manifested. What happens before that, behaviorism is not interested in, as long as the behavior is shown. So the behavior is the end product, the behavior is the end result, the behavior is the ultimate thing that you're looking for. Unlike in cognitive psychology, evidence pointing to brain activity is needed because that signifies learning. And that is why the right answer to a behaviorist is fine. To a cognitive psychologist, the right answer is not fine if you cannot explain how you got to the right answer. The process, together with the product, is key to cognitive psychology. So that's a major difference between behaviorism that only looks at the product and cognitive psychology that looks at the product but also focuses on the process. How did you get the product? Activation of prior knowledge in behaviorism is irrelevant. What you know earlier, do you know anything earlier, is irrelevant. It is not needed. Prior knowledge has nothing to do with the behavior you manifest under behaviorism. Under cognitive psychology, it is essential because you cannot build thinking from scratch. You build thinking from what you already know, and that is prior knowledge. So it's important for teachers in classrooms to every so often check what do the students already know. Because if I am teaching them something in science today that they already know, I am boring them. I should question them, find out what they already know, and then take that topic further from what the students already know. A lot of times teachers simplify their job by teaching what students already know. It is easier to do. They already know it, so it's less effort, less time, less energizing, and teachers get involved with that. We should not. Prior knowledge is essential in cognition because it signals thinking. So what role do the teachers play? Under behaviorism, the teacher's role simply is to provide a stimulus so the student will display the behavior. Simple. But if you don't provide the right stimulus, you will not get the right behavior. So the key really is, are you providing the right stimulus? And in cognitive psychology, it is preparing the environment. You must prepare the environment, you must have the materials, you must have the activities, you must have whatever the student needs to be able to think in the classroom. So stark differences between the two groups, major groups of psychological foundations of education.